This is the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. I've had it for about a month now, and I gotta say, I absolutely love this device. Let's talk about it. Starting off with design, it looks very similar to its predecessor, the S22 Ultra, and I think that's a good thing. We don't need a drastic new design every single year. There are some improvements, but not drastic enough to change the design, and this goes to show we don't need one. This proves just that. So we got flatter sides, which is a plus, and it fits much better in the hand. The display is also less curved too, and I hope Samsung goes completely flat with the S24 Ultra. This is a personal preference. I just like the flatter displays. This curved display is the least curved display of them all, but I still would like a full, completely flat display on this amazing display and the amazing quality, the resolution, 120 Hz LTPO, adaptive refresh rate display. My wallpaper pack NEBULA, it's my latest one, looks really good. I'll be leaving a link in the description down below if you do want to check it out. Another thing with this design is the addition of the S Pen that's built into just the Ultra model. Now, this has been helpful in certain situations, but I have faced some connection issues, and I think it's been an ongoing issue with many users. I've looked it up, I went into it, and I went ahead and I reset the S Pen, and it was working fine at occasions, but every time, recently I've been trying to use it and it'll say connecting, and then I'll have to reset it again, and right now it shows it's at 100%, so it looks like it's working for now. But overall, this design, if you have come to love the design of way back from the Note 20 Ultra, you probably have gotten used to the S22 Ultra and this one as well. I hope they keep up this design with minimal improvements. Good job, Samsung. When we take a look at software and performance, I think this is where Samsung takes the next big leap. This is where they make the biggest improvements with the user experience. We're getting Android 13 with the S23 Ultra with One UI 5.1, and in my opinion, it's become one of my absolute favorite custom OEMs. We remember those days of TouchWiz. I'm not going to go into it, but for me, it was a love-hate relationship, and I've really come down to love One UI 5.1. Super clean, aesthetically pleasing, minimal, and buttery smooth. I gotta say, it's been buttery smooth, no stutter, it's been very snappy. The optimization with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 found in the S23 Ultra has been doing a great job. This phone has not overheated at all, which is something I appreciate because I'm watching a lot of YouTube videos and I'm switching from app to app consistently. I'll even have YouTube playing in the background. And when I get bored, I'll play Call of Duty for sometimes I get carried away and I'll play for a while, and even then it doesn't get warm to the touch, whereas its predecessor would, and even other devices that I've used in the past would get warm to the touch. The only time it got warm to the touch was the initial setup process. Other than that, it has been a breeze. Now, the one thing I love about Samsung, they've been doing really well the past year, is the software updates, the regular software updates. Now with S23 series, you get 4 years of software updates. So you're gonna get Android 14, 15, 16, and Android 17, and 5 years of security updates. Samsung has been on top of their game. And when I say 4 years of Android updates, we've seen with Android 13 and last year's devices, they rolled out really quickly. So I hope Samsung continues that this year and years moving on forward. But Samsung, I think if you ever come across this video, software performance, it enhances the user experience. The more effort you put into it, the better it helps with the user and with their productivity. So keep it up in this department as well. So as I talk about camera, I just want to let you know that if you are interested in the Galaxy S23 Ultra, I'll be leaving a bunch of links in the description down below. You want to check it out. Maybe go to your local carrier store or your local Best Buy to try it out before. But so far, you can probably tell I really love this device. Now, cameras, 200 megapixel main camera. The sensor has upgraded to 200 megapixels. It's on point. Now, the only thing you need to do is you need to make sure that the pictures you're going to take with the 200 megapixel quality, they're kind of still shots because there is a shutter lag in this mode. So just do keep that in mind. However, you can bring it down to 50 megapixel mode or just go to its default, which is 12 megapixels, so it's pixel binning. Still takes some really good photos. As for videos, 8K video recording at 30 frames per second. I gotta say the quality is pretty good. I personally, I'm not recording all of my videos in 8K. In fact, I have yet to make the jump to 4K on my YouTube videos. Let me know in the comments down below if I should. But it's good to know that there is 8K 30 frames per second. Now, lately there's been a lot of controversy around the moon photos taken with S23 Ultra, and I'll share my thing. Like, I really don't mind. I really don't. Why? Because I only took one photo of the S23 Ultra's moon test, kind of. I only took one picture of the moon with the S23 Ultra. It's not something I'm going to be doing all the time. It's not like the moon is out all the time. Sometimes the sky, it's not a clear night, so you can't take it anyway. So there is that. That's just my personal thing. I don't really mind. I've read all about it, but it's just something I'm not too worried about. The zoom, the 100x zoom is still really good. And it comes in handy when you need to take a photo of something that's very far away. Back then with the S20 Ultra, when they first put 100x zoom, I remember some of the sample photos, they were not as clear as they are with the S23 Ultra. And I hope they continue to keep improving next year. If you're looking for good camera quality, both in photo and video, you can't go wrong with the S23 Ultra. That brings me into the battery department. And I gotta say, this is the best part about the S23 Ultra. The battery life has been superb, amazing. Any words that describe great, the battery life is just that with the S23 Ultra. Maybe it's because of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 and the optimization and how it works with the phone itself. But man, I gotta say, now what I noticed was the first couple of days, like the battery was the phone was learning how I use my phone and how I am a heavy user, so it wasn't as great as it is now. It's currently my battery champ, and I can't look back on any other device. I mean, why? Because I am a heavy user. Like, I'm using my phone for pretty much everything. Watching YouTube videos, texting, calling, sending emails, updating everyone on Twitter or social media. It's all happening on the S23 Ultra. And for me, this is a 2-day battery life phone. And if you're a light user, the battery will last even longer. I mean, I went one day, I really pushed it to its limits, and I got around 10 plus hours of screen on time. Granted, I'm not doing that every day, but I just wanted to push it to its limits that day, and I brought it to 10.5 hours with 6% of battery life left. That is just really good. And there are days where I'm not using it as often. It happens once or twice a week, and I don't need to charge this at night. I wake up in the morning, it'll last me the next day too. If you are worried about charging, now it charges at 45 watts. It's not the fastest on the market, but it still charges, at least in my experience, from 0 to 100 in about an hour, give or take. It does have wireless charging if you are someone who wirelessly charges your devices. It also has reverse wireless charging if you want to just charge your earbuds too. So there's that. But Samsung really did a great job. I think this is the best part of the phone, especially in my use, because like I said, I'm a heavy user and I need a superb battery life. I hope they continue this with their S24 Ultra that comes out next year. I hope they continue it with their foldables that come out later this year, the Z Fold 5 and Z Flip 5. But Samsung, seriously, everything up until this point, just keep on improving. So we got to this point of the video. I think you know my final thoughts by now. It's going to be very difficult for me to switch devices, mainly because of the improvements made to the S23 Ultra this year. Samsung really focused on the user experience more than adding new extra features or even changing the design, making it drastically different from its predecessor. Keep it up, Samsung. I hope the battery life on their upcoming foldables also improve, and I do have a feeling they will. That's really been it from me. If you guys use the S23 Ultra, let me know in the comments down below. If you were thinking about picking it up, I'll be leaving links in the description down below. I highly suggest and I highly recommend checking this device out, and I recommend more picking it up because it won't let you down. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to Superman that like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel a lot and will help push my content out to more people. That's been it for me, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.